Welcome back to the Smartbuild implementation series. We are in part 14, trim assemblies. So if you've just finished the sheeting assemblies, this is very similar, where now we're just talking about the trim lines and the items, the hardware items or fasteners that come in with them. So again, you can use Smartbuild in a way that you're just using primary trim. So if I would look at like my Valley trim here, it doesn't have a plus symbol beside it. That means it's just a trim itself. There's nothing coming with it. There's no hardware items, no fasteners. So my pitch brake and several other trims here are just the trim themselves. Now, when I look at like my ridge cap trim here, it has a plus symbol beside it. That means it tells me that there's other items coming in with it. And that's what we call trim assembly. So the question is, how do we get there? How do we get that set up? So for a returning customer, a customer that's had Smartbuild for quite some time and you were previously using trim, here's how your process works. So we'll go through that first, and then we'll jump into setting up new ones. So if you're a returning customer and you're using trim items, so we'll look at like this F channel trim. So maybe it's your top of wall trim that you use for soffit. So if I go in and edit this trim and just look at it for a second, you can see it's part of the ag panel system and it's used at the top of the wall, and then it has its part links and maybe colors. So that's all good, that's set up. So if you want to transition to use a trim assembly so that you get a fastener each time this top of wall trim is applied, this is how you would do that. So this trim here, this is how it would be set up previously, and then moving into trim assemblies, we could come into trim assemblies, click the plus sign, and so here's where we start. We start with the primary material, and here's the F channel. So if I pick the F channel, and I want to give it a little bit different name so I know it has a fastener, maybe I'll just type in with fastener, and the plus sign will come in automatically on the job then. So the next thing is I have to make this new trim assembly part of the ag panel system. So I have to add the system. It's here. And if you notice, the top of wall usage is already stolen. So since I selected this primary material, it inherited the top of the wall trim as the usage. So I didn't have to do that. And that's what it affects your older jobs. So if you've got a lot of jobs in your database, anytime you reopen that job, now it no longer has this F channel as the primary material or standalone material. Now it's replaced with this new assembly. So if you're transitioning to assemblies, that's something to look out for, that now every old job that you open will be replaced with this new assembly, which can be a good thing if that's what you intend. So how do we finish setting up this assembly? So we go down to entries, we click add new, and we just set, what is this? It's going to be a fastener in this case. Where do we want that? What category do we want that fastener to show up in? I'll leave it in accessories. I select my material. I find maybe I want to use a screw. I'll just pick this 1-inch hex head wood screw. I apply it. And then the question is, how many screws do I want to fasten this trim? And maybe I want to set this to, per lineal foot, maybe 1 per foot. That's one way you could set it up. Or I also have the inches on center. Maybe you screw it about every 16 inches on center. And this both sides doesn't really apply in this case because we don't need 2 screws. Something like a gable corner, a rake, you may want to have 2 per 16 inches. So you could simply check this box. So that's really simple. And that's just how you set up a really basic assembly in the transition process. So as soon as I save this, I'm going to jump back. So here's this F channel with fastener at the bottom, A18. When I go back and look at my trim, this is what I wanted to point out. Notice it shows that I edited the F channel, and when I look at it, the usage is no longer there. So it has inherited, it has stolen that usage so that it's no longer used in a job. So that's if you're transitioning from a database you've been using Smartbuild for a while and you want to transition to using assemblies. So next we're going to take a step back, and for all new returning customers or all new customers that are starting fresh, so we go to settings, setup wizard, and that's how I got to this part, and then trim assemblies. So when you first come in here, you see all these trim assemblies that are already set up and they already have usages in place. And that's just because we've given you this setup to kind of help you understand and give you examples. So when I look at things like my J channel, double click on it, I can edit this and see what's in here. And again, this J channel, I just left the name J channel and I didn't add with fastener. It's fine, however you want that. So the first thing you have to make sure it's set up in the correct system. So if I were just using this out of the box, using it the way it was, I have to make sure it's part of my new systems that I've set up. And then I have to make sure I have the correct usages here. Again, these usages, we are in the process of updating these names where they're a little more descriptive. Right now, that's not done as of 190 release. So it will be coming up. So by the time you're doing this, it may show the more detailed usages. So these usages would be set for you, and this is just generic, using generic J channel name and on average where it gets used in the job for most of our customers. So when we look at other other items, I want to go into a more detailed thing like maybe ridge cap, where it's a little more in depth on the setup. So when I go to my ridge cap, I've got a vented ridge cap. We'll start with that one. And again, I changed the name. I set it to vented, and the primary material was the 14-inch ridge cap. So again, this was, if I was using trim by itself and then I transitioned, now it has stolen it. But if I'm starting fresh here, the primary material is 14-inch ridge cap. So I would select that, and then I gave it a name here. What do I want that called? And then I have to put it in the correct system. In what panel, what roof panel does it get used on? And then the usage. So with this vented ridge cap, it may also get used on the hip. There's chances if you're using like a foam closure, maybe use it in both places. Now, if you're using a 3-foot ridge vent, maybe it doesn't really work on the profile to go at an angle, so you have to do something else on the hip. But looking at how this is set up, I'm just going to delete both of these so we can walk through the process of adding these items on here. So when you're starting fresh, you may want to add your own. So you add new. It defaults to closure. We can select our material. Again, you may have to switch and go to hardware if that's where your closures are. And I'm just searching for closure. So type in closure and apply, and I can see if there's anything in here. I didn't find anything. I'll just skip on ahead here. Let's get through and see if I can find one. Yeah, so here's some closures, and I'm going to pick the vented. So I apply that. How many feet of coverage does it have? And again, with this closure, it's 3 feet. Yours may be different, but I want to put it on both sides of the ridge cap. So I simply check this box. And if we look under the hood and see what it's the formula that it's building out for us, you can see it's 2 times the lineal foot of ridge cap divided by 3. And it's much easier just to stay in the simple view, but if you can go into advanced to kind of see if you want to write the formula that way. But most people, we recommend just staying in the simple view. And then you can do other things with special conditions. We're not going to go into special conditions on this one, but you could think outside the box with what you're doing here, and then maybe you'll use special conditions. So I save this. Now the next thing, I want to add a fastener. So the next time I open it, it defaults for fastener for you, and you just find the fastener that you want. Maybe I use 2.5-inch screws for the ridge cap, and this would be, per lineal foot. I can also do inches on center to make it easier. Maybe your rib is 9 inches on center. You screw it on every rib, and you want to do it on both sides of the ridge cap. Again, very simple to set up. And just like that, we have the materials we needed for that vented ridge cap. And I simply click save. So that was going through, building out our own, even though it was here. So I kind of wanted to go through those steps of showing you how we got to this point. Now, since you're inheriting this generic database, the question is, well, what happens if I've come into my trims, and if you delete, maybe we delete things like ridge cap and we added our own. So if I would take this ridge cap and just delete it, we're just going to delete it, or maybe change the name, something. So we'll start out with the delete option first. So if I deleted these trims and I added my own in, now when I come into trim assemblies, all the trims using that product are now red. So we have to fix them. So if we had added our own ridge cap in, kind of take a step back, and I'll just add in a new ridge, call it new ridge cap, just so we have something to go by. And I'll put in a 6-inch width. I'm not concerned about my measurements here, and add a usage of ridge cap, and we just stop it there. So if I have a new ridge cap that I had added, maybe my own product, now when I go back to the trim assemblies, again, when you look at these trim assemblies, anything that's red, again, you can use these, or you could start fresh and build your own. But if we look at what this ridge cap was, maybe there's some salvaging you could do here and keep this setup if this is kind of what you needed anyway. So really the only thing that I have to do is come in here and click this drop down and go find my new ridge cap that I've just created. So when I come in here and find the new ridge cap, pick it from this list and set it. Now in this case, I do have to save, since I've not deleted yet. I have to save that to come back. So we'll save this and we'll come back. So you can see after I've deleted this ridge cap and I come back, and again, this may be the situation you're dealing with when you reopen it. Now your primary material is blank. And again, this is just because when you set up your trim items, you may have deleted or renamed some of your trims versus the generic items, which in turn has kind of broken these trim assembly examples. And again, you don't have to start fresh. You can use these, still use these. So we simply come in here, you could double check, and again, maybe the fasteners are renamed too, but you could delete these out, or you could use them and reassign them to the new product. So just depending on how your transition's going. When you come in here though, the first thing is we have to make sure it's part of this new system, the system you want to use it in, and you also have to select the primary material, which in this case is my new ridge cap that I just created the step before this. So again, I could maybe just assign my new ridge cap and then move on into, okay, yes, this screw formula is correct for me. I can just pick my screw that I use. So again, if you had a different screw list, you would have to reapply this and say that one, and then maybe you have a different closure also. So again, if you went through all the other steps, the hardware, the fasteners, when you come in here, chances are these will be read or they'll be deleted. The formulas may still be here for you, to just give you an example. And again, if you don't want to deal with any of these, you could start fresh and create your assembly like in the first step that we did at the beginning of the video, where for the returning customer. So you can just click here and create your own assemblies from scratch. But the main point that we want to get you to understand is when you're designing a job and any trim line that you have, whether it's a wall trim, a roof trim, you can have this trim line bring in all the materials that you need. So again, whether it's a fastener, whether it's a closure, maybe it's any hardware item that you use in that case, that's what trim assemblies do. So with this, it gives you a lot more control, because in older versions of Smartbuild, everyone was using packages to bring in fasteners. And with the trim assemblies, it's quite an upgrade, because now you can do things differently. So if I wanted to just pick this porch roof, I could go into advanced edit and I could select this porch roof, roof 4 and roof 3, and maybe I do a different trim assembly on just that roof. So on the details, maybe I want to do a special roof edge because this gets guttering versus the main roof. I don't know, but that would just be an example. So I could go to my roof trim and I could set this, maybe to a different assembly. And this advanced edit with assemblies fully set up, it doesn't matter what the trim line is, going into advanced edit, or different buildings that are in the project, maybe you have more than one wing in the project, then in advanced edit, or you can do a lot more precise control of your hardware items coming in. So packages do work to a certain extent, but when you're doing more complex projects, the assemblies are necessary to set up. Another example would be maybe weather stripping around this overhead door. So when we look at our overhead door trims, my door and window trims here, if I go to overhead door trim and just look here, the header and the trimmer, I have those set to overhead door trim, just a one-piece trim. Now the top jamb is set to a weather strip. So again, in this case, we have two trim lines going around an overhead door. Some people need three, and the reason would be I'm using a one-piece overhead door trim, which is a J and a fascia trim combined. If you need two, then in your case, you would use the side jamb and you would use the trimmer. And then what do you do about the weather stripping? Maybe you don't need it. But in cases where you need more trims coming in than what we have settings, that's where you can do a combined trim line or an assembly. So I could have a weather stripping, I could combine that with my overhead door trim and have that all come in one line with the assembly function. So again, that would be similar. If I go back into here, an example would be if I go to my door jamb trim, this is a really good example. So I have my door jamb trim, maybe this is my overhead door trim. I have my trim nails. Well, I could also add the weather stripping right to this line. So instead of just adding, I could go to my type, I could pick other, and in this case, my weather stripping, I think it may be in trim. When I look at weather stripping, just search. So I have vinyl weather strip white, and I have the lengths. And again, the lengths may vary. I'm just going to set it to 10 so I get the correct lineal feet. And I have 10 lineal feet of coverage, and it's just one strip, so I save. So just like that, I would get the correct lineal feet of weather stripping around that opening for the bid. Now, when it gets to maybe the 10, I don't know how many links you offer. Some people don't offer that many links, but Again, this is more about getting the bid accurate where you're covered. When you actually do the takeoff, you may have to double check these lengths depending on the door height. This is the best that you can currently do, though. You can't have it just pick different heights. So that's kind of a maybe not the best example, but it just gives you an idea of what's possible if you need more than one trim at a trim line. So going back to the model here, again, just thinking a little bit outside the box, whether it's a top of wall trim, maybe it's a gable edge trim, or several different versions of ridge cap, those all kind of gives you an idea of how you may want to set up your trim assembly. So when you come into the setup wizard, you do have these trim assemblies already set up. If you go through the trim process and you delete a bunch of these, you rename them, you may have to do some cleanup work like I walked through here where I have some items that are red. Again, these are here just as examples. If you choose to delete all these, that's fine. The trim assemblies, you can delete them and just build them all out by yourself on your own, but you may want to look at some of these as examples when you get started. So I hope this helps everyone, and we will see you next time.